Hello, everybody. This is Corey Cook. I'm an instructor with the International Institute for Restorative Practices, and I've been asked to present to you a shortened version of FAIR process. And we're going to talk about FAIR process specifically in regards to a school and how we're going to use it inside a classroom and how maybe some counselors might be able to use some of the aspects of this. So first and foremost, FAIR process is all about engagement and having voice and doing this in a way that hits the restorative components. And what we're trying to do here is we're trying to create an environment where a person who's in power or a leader, so a teacher, counselor, principal, etc., is working with not only students, faculty, parents, constituents, etc., and helping to make some changes in regards to the rules or some processes. So the idea of leadership is also something that I want you to think about as we go through this, because leadership doesn't always necessarily mean someone that is in a position of power. Leadership is really about influence. And when we utilize FAIR process, that influence grows. So think of it in terms of how we can help to motivate some individuals by engaging them and having their creativity help us move things forward. So really, when we're looking at FAIR process, we're looking at three main principles. The first principle that we're looking at is engagement. Engagement is really about, as the leader, I have an idea. I want to change some policies. I want to change some rules in the classroom, and I need to bring these ideas or changes up to the group to see their response, to hear their input, to hear how this may impact them. And when I do bring this up and I speak with them about this, I want to do something in a way that is going to really help them understand it. So I need to really work on the explanation. And when I'm explaining this new change to the group, I really want to be clear. I want to talk to them about how I came up with this idea, why I think it's important to move it forward, and I really want to explain the need to understand how this new change is going to impact the individuals that I'm working with. Once we've engaged our group and we've explained the rationale as to why we're changing something, the next thing that we need to do is go into expectation clarity. Expectation clarity is really going to help everybody inside this system understand what will happen if we don't meet the expectations, or if we do. So what are the pros and cons? How does this impact every one of us? So really, when we're talking about FAIR process, we're really talking about trying to lay out all the reasons why we want to do something and hear all of the rebuttals against it. Now, when we are working inside a system such as a school, we know that our teachers are in positions, again, that are leadership positions, and we really want to help the leader understand that FAIR process is not about giving up your authority. It's not about your decision making. It's not giving up your ability to say no or things of that nature. We really want people to understand that it's just about having voice. It's about being heard. It's about being given a platform so that a leader can take into account all the variables that go into decision making. So FAIR process isn't this thing that strips you of your leadership role. It's really about helping you do your job better as a leader. And a good example that I can give on this is if for some reason a fire alarm goes off, you're not going to circle up your classroom. You're not going to engage the group and say, well, we hear that the fire alarm is going off. I think we might need to evacuate. What are your thoughts? It's not anything like that, okay? So FAIR process is, again, about giving voice. Now, we also know that when FAIR process is done correctly, it achieves some pretty incredible things. Now, sometimes this happens rapidly, but a lot of the time, this is going to take serious investment, and it's going to take some time probably getting middle to the almost near end of the school year. But if we are utilizing fair process in the appropriate way, it will build trust. Your students will trust you, your faculty will trust you, the parents will trust you. And when we have trust built, you're going to see more voluntary cooperation. People may still disagree with you. People may still think their way might be better, but they're more likely to voluntarily cooperate to make things work more smoothly. We also notice that it drives performance. People are more happy being engaged. So a lot of times they're going to work harder. We also recognize that in instances, people will go beyond duty. So what this means is if you have some students who've been, they've been classroom leaders, but they're still struggling a little bit, and fair process is constantly happening inside their system, when a situation arises, a lot of times these students will actually stand up and take the lead. And that's really what this is about. It's about showing how we can engage individuals and make them feel empowered. And the last piece is that knowledge sharing. People are more willing to share the tips and secrets, so to speak, of how to survive in a classroom when they believe in what's happening in the classroom. So overall, just as a simple recap, fair process is really about engaging individuals, giving people the opportunity to understand the explanation as to why we're doing it, understanding the expectation clarity, feeling that they have a voice, working with people, and not giving up your role as a leader. I hope this brief tutorial on fair process was helpful. Have a great day.